So you are wondering what are the best metrics to use to analyze the performance of your lead generation campaign on Google Ads. Well, after 4 years of running Google Ads, doing lead gen and e-commerce marketing, this is my ultimate setup for analyzing the best metrics so we can further optimize our lead generation campaign. And it starts like this. So what I have is a preset under columns. I always do it here. Ultimately, what we have is cost, impressions, clicks, conversions, cost per conversions, click-through rate, conversion rate, average CPC, and then we move on to impression share. So impression share is the amount of times your adverts are showing up compared to how much they can. Okay, I'll explain that further after this, but that's the general basis of it now. So impression share loss due to rank is how often you are not appearing based on your ad quality or your bidding strategy. And then impression share loss due to budget is how much you aren't appearing compared to how much you could because of the budget you're using. So if you're not using enough budget, then this will be a high number. And finally, we have bidding strategy type. So let's have a look at it here. So we have some campaigns here. And the reason I like to do this, and typically I will filter down by conversions like this. So have it from top to bottom like that. And what we can do is we first of all start with cost, and then we can have impressions and clicks. But the most important metrics we look at are the conversions and the cost per conversion, in my opinion, because that is the ultimate goal. We are looking for leads and we want to generate these leads at a sustainable price. So these are the most important. Okay, click-through rate gives you an idea of how popular your advert is. So is it enticing people in enough? So if this number was low, then you would potentially feel like I need to improve my ad copy because it is not exciting enough for people to click on. But overall, these two top campaigns, we've got around a 7% click-through rate, which is really good. This one's 5.8, which is about an average, what we want to achieve. And then this campaign here is at 2.76. So we can see this is slightly low. So there's potential things we could do to this campaign to improve its ad copy. As we can see, we've had no conversions, but we have only spent $200 compared to these, which have much higher spend. So the conversion rate as well shows you how well they have converted from being a click on the website to being a conversion on the website. So it's nothing to do from impressions. This is from being on the website. What is the percentage of people that have turned into a conversion? And we can see this varies quite a lot of these campaigns, with a 12% conversion rate here, which is really good, and a 0.4 here. So this would potentially suggest to me that this isn't high quality or relevant to what the person is searching for. So they've landed on your landing page, but they're not converting. So that shows to me potentially the targeting we're using is not matching our ad copy and specifically our content on our website. It's not relevant to what they're searching for. So they're clicking off it. Next column here is average CPC. This is just good to know what we can achieve per campaign and if the keywords we have within specific campaigns are more expensive than each other. And we can see here we've got an average of around $4 for these two. This campaign is a lot lower at 2.73, but we also have a low conversion rate. So that suggests to me that these keywords aren't very specific. They're quite cheap, probably broad match if I had to look into these campaigns. So they're quite cheap, but they're not actually generating relevant results or relevant targeting to what we want. Hence the low conversion rates. And then finally, these three are great. I really love search impression share. It's not typically one I use to optimize my campaign directly. I would always stick to conversions, cost per conversions, and these sort of mix here. But what search impression share does is shows me what areas I probably need to focus on improving. So these suggest to me search impression share shows you how much you are appearing compared to how much you could be appearing. So ideally, we want this number to be 100%. We want to show up 100% of the time compared to how much we can. Currently, we're averaging around 37%. So this suggests to me there is a lot more potential to gain with these campaigns. Now let's further segment the search impression share. So search impression share loss due to rank, if we read here, is basically to do with our ad quality. it means our keywords need to be matching the ad copy we use on our adverts and also the ad copy we use in our landing page. It's a term called message match, and I do have a video on it. If you want to watch that, I'll link it in the description. But if we can match our messaging from keyword to advert to landing page, Google will reward us for this by boosting us naturally in the organic rankings or the paid rankings, because it rewards quality. And when you can't compete so much on budget, you can always compete on quality. So we want to aim to have this as high as possible. But bearing in mind, this also taps into our bid strategy type we're using. So currently we're using maximize conversions and max clicks for here. Maybe if we had a target CPA that was a bit too tight for what we could achieve, then Google isn't really showing it to as many people as possible. So in order to improve our rank, search impression loss due to rank, we could potentially reduce our target CPA slightly, or increase it, sorry. And then finally, search impression share loss due to budget is just a really simple one. It shows to you how much you should be spending compared to how much you are. Ideally, we want this to be 0%, and we roughly have 10% here, 0.9% here, 5%, 1%. This shows to me the budget I'm using currently, which is roughly $30 or $20 a day, seems to be hitting the spot relatively good. So our top campaign here says to me we have 10%. I'd probably want to lower that a bit, so I probably would increase this to $30. Just to get a sense of what we can achieve with our budget. So a slight increase like there would make us show up a bit more in our adverts. But yeah, overall, that is the setup I use to analyze and optimize lead generation campaigns. I'm going to do a video on this for e-commerce. Bearing in mind, it's going to be very, very similar. But what we focus on more is cost per conversion, but also conversion value divided by cost, which is ROAS, which is the most important metric we measure with e-commerce. But more details in that video, which I will upload after this one. So make sure to see that one. All right, thank you guys.